Today, we're diving deep into the early warning signals that dementia might be starting to develop in your brain, often many years before any obvious memory issues appear. And when sign number 10 shows up, neurologists tend to take it especially seriously. So let's get started right away. Sign number 1. Your sense of smell is gradually fading away. If you've noticed that your favorite meals don't have the same rich aroma they once did, or you're struggling to pick up on faint or subtle scents that you used to notice easily, this could be one of the very first indicators that brain degeneration has begun. A major study conducted at the University of Chicago, which followed more than 3,000 older adults, revealed that people who could correctly identify fewer than 4 out of 5 common everyday smells were more than twice as likely to develop dementia over the next 5 years. The science behind this is fascinating. The olfactory bulb, the part of the brain that handles smell, has a direct connection to the hippocampus, one of the key areas involved in memory. These regions are often among the first to be impacted when dementia processes start. As the cells in these areas begin to deteriorate, your ability to smell naturally diminishes. Unfortunately, many people brush this off as just normal aging or perhaps seasonal allergies, completely missing this important early red flag. Sign number 2. You're experiencing ongoing difficulties with your sleep patterns. And we're not talking about occasionally sleeping a bit less or waking up once or twice. This is about persistent sleep problems, struggling to fall asleep at night, a sharp drop in overall sleep quality, or waking up several times throughout the night and still feeling tired and unrest in the morning. During deep, quality sleep, your brain activates its own cleaning system known as the glymphatic system. This system works like a powerful flush, removing harmful toxic proteins, including the amyloid plaques linked to Alzheimer's disease. But when your sleep structure starts breaking down, these toxins build up much faster than your brain can clear them, creating a harmful cycle. Poor sleep harms the brain, and the damaged brain then makes sleep even worse. A lot of people blame this on stress or simply getting older, but in reality, it's your brain urgently trying to tell you that its natural maintenance and detoxification system is starting to fail. Sign number 3. Your handwriting is becoming noticeably smaller and more cramped. Take a moment to compare something you wrote 5 years ago with what you write today. If your letters now look significantly smaller, more squeezed together, and harder to read, this symptom, known as micrographia, is a serious neurological warning sign. The areas in your brain responsible for smooth, automatic movements, especially the basal ganglia, control the natural flow and size of your handwriting. When these regions begin to degenerate, the brain loses its ability to produce movements with the right scale and fluidity. As a result, everything starts to shrink and feel more restricted. This same process can affect other automatic movements too, but handwriting is one of the simplest ways to notice and track these changes over time. Sign number 4. You're finding it much harder to multitask the way you once could. Think back to when you could easily prepare dinner, help your children with their homework, and organize tomorrow's plans all at the same time without any problem. Nowadays, even a simple conversation while you're focused on a task can cause you to completely lose your train of thought. This change occurs because the executive functions of your brain, which are primarily managed by the frontal lobes, are beginning to weaken. These regions handle planning, organization, and the ability to manage several streams of information at once. As dementia-related changes begin, the prefrontal cortex starts losing neurons and important connections, making it extremely difficult to handle multiple tasks simultaneously. Many people simply assume they're becoming more forgetful or easily distracted, but this is actually an early indication that critical brain circuits are starting to break down. Sign number 5. The natural swinging motion of your arms while walking has changed or even disappeared. Next time you walk past a mirror or a store window, take a quick look. Are both of your arms swinging freely and symmetrically, or is one arm barely moving at all? Or maybe both arms are just hanging stiffly by your sides. This natural arm swing is managed by complex automatic motor programs in the brain that operate without any conscious effort. When the motor cortex and basal ganglia start to degenerate, these automatic programs begin to fail, causing movements to become stiffer and less natural. This is the very same process that eventually leads to the shuffling walk and stooped posture seen in later stages of dementia. However, These changes often begin years earlier with subtle shifts in arm swing that most people never even notice. Sign number 6. You're gradually losing interest in the hobbies and social activities that used to bring you joy. This isn't exactly the same as depression, although the feelings can overlap. You might have once looked forward eagerly to your weekly book club, your favorite woodworking project, or playing cards with friends, but now you simply don't feel motivated to participate. This happens because the brain's reward system, which relies on dopamine pathways in the midbrain, starts to malfunction. As these circuits deteriorate, you lose the ability to feel pleasure, excitement, or anticipation from things that used to make you happy. Essentially, your brain is losing its capacity to generate motivation and engagement. Many people explain this away as just part of getting older or feeling more tired, but it's actually a clear signal that the key motivational circuits in the brain are beginning to fail. Sign number 7. You're having increasing difficulty with visual and spatial awareness. You might misjudge distances when trying to park the car or reach for something on a shelf. You could struggle to read certain texts or tell colors apart, and you find yourself bumping into door frames or furniture more frequently than before. Importantly, these issues aren't usually caused by your eyesight getting worse. Instead, they result from the visual processing areas in the occipital and parietal lobes starting to degenerate. These parts of the brain take the basic visual signals from your eyes and interpret them, calculating distances, understanding spatial relationships, and building your internal map of the world around you. Sign number 8. You can no longer easily follow complex conversations or detailed TV shows. You used to enjoy watching intricate mystery series or engaging in deep discussions about politics or philosophy, but now you quickly feel lost. You struggle to keep track of the characters, the plot, or how all the pieces fit together. This occurs because the temporal lobes, which process complex auditory information and help construct coherent stories from sequences of events, are beginning to decline. Your brain is losing its ability to hold multiple pieces of information in working memory and connect them into one meaningful narrative. Most people tend to blame it on the shows becoming too complicated these days or simply feeling too tired to concentrate. But this is actually an early sign that language processing and semantic memory pathways are breaking down. Sign number 9. Your reaction time has slowed down considerably. You used to respond quickly when driving or catching something that was falling, but now there's a noticeable delay between seeing something happen and your body actually reacting. This slowdown isn't primarily about your muscles getting weaker. It's because your brain is taking longer to process incoming information and send out the appropriate motor commands. The overall processing speed of your neural networks depends on healthy myelin sheaths that insulate the nerve fibers and efficient neurotransmitter activity. When dementia processes begin, these systems start to degrade, leading to noticeable delays across the brain. People often attribute this to normal aging, but such a significant drop in processing speed usually points to actual neurodegeneration taking place. Sign number 10. You're noticing subtle shifts in your personality. Family members or close friends might comment that you seem more irritable, suspicious, or emotionally flat compared to before. You may occasionally say things that are socially inappropriate or show reduced empathy toward others. These personality changes occur because the frontal lobes, which regulate personality traits, impulse control, and social behavior, are among the earliest areas affected by dementia. As neurons in these regions die off, you begin to lose the sophisticated brain networks that shaped who you are. Someone who was once patient and kind may become short-tempered and blunt. Someone who was sociable might start withdrawing. These aren't simply bad habits or personal choices. They are direct signs that the brain tissue responsible for personality is literally disappearing. Sign number 11. You're struggling with tasks and routines that used to feel completely automatic. Activities you've done hundreds or even thousands of times, like preparing your signature dish or driving your usual route to the store, suddenly feel confusing and require much more effort. You have to consciously think through every single step instead of doing them on autopilot. This happens because procedural memory, the system that stores automatic skills and behaviors, is mainly stored in the basal ganglia and cerebellum. When these areas begin to degenerate, those automatic programs start to break down, forcing you to use conscious effort for things that should require none. Many people don't see this as a problem because they can still finish the task if they concentrate hard enough. But the need for conscious effort instead of automatic execution is the real warning sign. Sign number 12. You're putting things away in strange and illogical places. It's not just occasionally forgetting where you left your keys. It's finding your wallet inside the refrigerator or your glasses tucked away in the bathroom cabinet. These bizarre misplacements occur because the brain circuits that connect objects to their proper locations are deteriorating. The hippocampus helps create spatial maps and associations between items and places. As it degenerates, these connections become mixed up, causing objects to end up in completely inappropriate spots. What makes this especially worrying is that people often can't even retrace their steps or remember why they put the item there, because the memory of doing so never formed properly in the first place. The most crucial point to remember is that all of these early signals can appear many years, sometimes even decades, before a formal dementia diagnosis would ever be made. By the time memory problems become obvious enough for doctors to diagnose the condition, a very large amount of brain tissue has already been lost, and reversing the damage at that stage becomes extremely difficult, if not impossible. However, if you recognize any of these warning signs early enough, you still have a valuable window of time to take meaningful action. The human brain possesses a remarkable ability to heal and form new connections when you provide it with the right support. High-quality nutrition as fuel, good cardiovascular health for proper oxygen supply, and especially regular physical activity combined with ongoing mental stimulation. The real key is to start taking steps now, while your brain still has enough healthy tissue left to respond and recover. Once too many neurons have been lost, the remaining cells simply don't have the capacity to rebuild what's already gone. If you've noticed any of these signs in yourself or in someone you care about, please leave a comment below and tell me which one caught your attention the most. And if this video has been helpful to you, please give it a like so that even more people can become aware of these important early warning signs before it's too late.